Well, I'm pulling an audible. I knew that she was coming in, but I didn't put it on my show planner for whatever reason. But when I saw her walk up, I was like, I gotta have you on the air. Please come over. And sure enough, she did. After spending some time with our neighbors across the hallway, WNNS, talking about some fun stuff, it's time for the Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher to talk about some serious stuff. So I appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
Just to kind of, I guess, encapsulate some of what you talked with on WNNS. You're having some fun over there. Talk about that a bit.
Yeah, so they didn't want to talk politics. They wanted to talk about just fun stuff. So they asked me, what kind of things scare you? What kind of music do you like? Just fun questions.
That's good.
Yeah.
So time to get to know Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher. So hopefully they get that podcasted over on our sister station, WNNS. But Mayor, there's so much going on. Of course, you're new into the office. What has it been 100 days?
A little over 4 months.
A little over 4 months. And of course, right when you came in, you had the derecho that you had to deal with, which still some cleanup going on with that.
Absolutely.
And it was interesting
trees
to hear.
Trees are still breaking from that, the weekend trees. And quite frankly, we had a discussion the other day that we think it's going to go on through the winter months, because in the winter, trees dry up a little bit more. Right. And then if there's snow or ice on them, that will impound some of that as well. And they'll keep falling and breaking. So
and we heard a little bit of that warning Tuesday at the meeting for the committee of the whole. But a whole bunch that we got to talk about. Top of mind is new leadership at Lincoln Public Library. You had Catherine Harris in there in an interim capacity. She's going to remain on while we get the approval of Gwendolyn Harrison to be the new director. But I want to give you an opportunity to react to the letter that the Board of Trustees put out saying that Gwen Harrison is absolutely qualified, but they couldn't endorse her because they say they didn't have an opportunity to interview any of the other candidates. Your thoughts?
So the directors at the city of Springfield are very much like the governor appoints directors of his agencies, whether it's CMS or IDNR. The directors at the city are very similar. They serve at the pleasure of the person who is running either the state or the city. So Governor Pritzker appointed his directors, and any governor prior to him. As mayor, I appoint the directors of the agencies, as any mayor prior to me did as well. And so that is an appointment, and any of the directors, both on the state level or the city level, their jobs are not protected. They're taking an at-will position. So I think that's something that we need to focus on. Is it's not a regular job like a union job or a civil service job where it's posted and you have protections. It is an at-will job, and it's at the direction of the mayor, and it says they serve at the pleasure of the mayor. So.
And Catherine Harris finding Gwendolyn, and obviously Gwendolyn has a lifelong career in libraries. She's got her library science degree, which is important, and obviously it's something that you saw and said, hey, we'll go ahead and appoint. But I think one of the pushback that the trustees had was they didn't get a chance to interview any of the other candidates that there were, and those names haven't been released.
Correct.
Rationale behind that?
Some of it's out of respect for those candidates. They have jobs right now, and if it's publicized that they're out looking, that might hurt their job. I know if I was looking for another job, I wouldn't want someone telling the media and everybody that I was doing that. When I worked at, let's say, one of the financial institutions I worked at in the past, if I was talking to another one, I wouldn't want that splashed all over the news, and it's out of respect for people. I knew Gwen was the candidate I wanted, very similar to a lot of the other directors I appointed, so that's who I talked to. And the library board did get to interview Gwen. And I find it funny. It's a small world that you said your wife knows her from her work. Yeah. So it's a very small world. But Gwen is a Springfield resident. She has a library science degree. She cut her teeth early on in her career at our library.
Oh, wow.
She worked there at one time.
Come around full circle.
Yes. Then she went to the state library system. Now she's coming back. So I'm very excited to have her, and she's just got a lot of energy.
Another exciting thing happening. It's been a long time coming. Thought we were going to get some shovels in the ground over the summer, but next week is the day that
September 20th.
They're actually going to get shovels in the ground for the sports complex.
Yes, there is a groundbreaking ceremony for the sports complex September 20th. Ryan McCready showed me a picture of the gold shovels he has ready for the dirt to be turned over. So it's very exciting, and I've seen the timeline for the goals of when certain parts of the phases of the construction, because clearly the ground has to be prepped and all of that done first, and then when the dome will go in and different parts of that. So I've seen some of the timelines, and it's super exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a big anchor of sorts, right?
Yes.
I know Shields is a key sponsor, and they're a major anchor, but this is going to be just another addition to that area to grow it out even more.
Sure. And you have like Ingrained Brewing, if you think about how long they've been there waiting for something big to come.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great for all of the businesses out there.
So looking forward to that. Something else coming up in the weeks ahead, and we heard about the build program that you guys have. Beautification, unity, what's the ILD, leadership development,
yes.
innovation, I think is.
So Build Springfield is Beauty, Unity, Innovation, Leadership, and Development of the City of Springfield. And we are, and you did a really good job quoting all those. I was going to say props to you. And we have a 55 block radius that encompass wards 2, 3, and 5. It's just the outskirt of 4. And we're going to work on talking to all the neighbors, knocking on the doors, seeing what they need, clean up the sidewalks, the streets, the curbs, the gutters, the alleys. And we are going to have a central location where non-for-profit organizations, some state agencies, some county agencies can all set up and talk to the community and tell them what they have to offer. For instance, we called the Senior Services Center and said, would you like to have a space? Because a lot of seniors may not know what services you offer, things like that. So it's a community outreach program and a beautification program.
And it's going to be great to see, and something that could be expanded year after year and even into other areas of the city, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
So obviously that's a big deal coming up. Something else, new first responders are being sworn in to take the job?
Yeah, next week, Thursday evening, we have our new round of firefighters being sworn in. We're going to have a ceremony and bring them all on board. And then the following week, our new set of police officers are going to be sworn in. So it's a very exciting time. As you know, I was committed to making sure our police department gets fully staffed. And then I want to look at increasing our neighborhood police officer presence, because I really do want, it's a dynamic I have to work with my chief, because the police department works on beats, not wards, but I would like each ward to have a neighborhood police officer, and so we will have to figure out how we work that with their beats. But it's important that the NPOs, the neighborhood police officers, have the opportunity to walk a neighborhood or shoot hoops with kids in the neighborhood or attend a church service. But when we're short-staffed, there is no time for that. So we need to make sure that we make time for that.
And of course, we talked earlier in the week about, and even last week, the $3 million grant that the city's getting from the state to help combat homelessness, bringing together various resources and nonprofits to work with the Springfield Police Department on that. So we'll be watching how that develops. But Mayor Misty Buscher with us finally here in the last few minutes. We talked with Sheriff Jack Campbell earlier this morning about the Safety Act, the Pretrial Fairness Act, getting ready to be implemented on Monday. He said obviously it's going to impact the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, but the Springfield Police, being the police agency for the largest city in Sangamon County, they're the ones that are out there on the streets mainly and making arrests. How do you feel that the no cash bail provision is going to impact morale, impact just public safety in general? Do you have concerns? Where do you stand on this?
I do have concerns about what our crime statistics are going to do in our area. My fear is, and my gut tells me crime's going to go up, and that's not a good thing for Springfield. As the mayor, I want our citizens and our visitors to feel safe, and so crime does not equal safety.
Yeah.
Because of that, I did hold a meeting, as I told you earlier, with the Sheriff's Department, the State's Attorney's Office, the jail, my police department, and my legal department, so we could all be on the same page and talk about the Safety Act, because it is a big, big change. I want our residents, to remember to keep their doors locked in their homes and their cars locked. I get police reports all the time. I see them, and the number of times I see cars stolen or things stolen from a car, and it's because the car was unlocked and the keys are in it. So I would just express to our residents, please stop doing that. Please keep your personal belongings out of the view in the car windows, because they might get smashed if they see a computer bag or a laptop bag, a purse. One of the reports I read, someone had a diaper bag and they smashed it because they probably didn't know it was just a diaper bag, right? So just make sure those things aren't in public view. you, lock the doors, lock the windows, lock your house.
So we'll be tracking that as well to see how this measure that goes into effect on Monday impacts safety on the streets here in Springfield and across the state. Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher, thank you so much for taking time with us on very short notice. Saw you come in, I'm like, all right, let's get her on. Also, your advertising, your advertising next weekend, a big event.
Yeah, the Route 66 Festival is coming, the Car Festival. The parade downtown is Friday night. Saturday and Sunday, all the cars will be on display. There's food vendors out. It's going to be a great time. Some music. I really, really express that everyone should come out. It's beautiful weather.
Oh, yeah.
Come see it.
Always legendary. Visit Springfield.
Absolutely, yes.
Greatly appreciated. Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher. Have a great weekend, all right?
Thank you. You as well.
All right. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News.